And I realized again the value of diversity. The second lesson I want you to take away is when you're hiring your team, when you're recruiting your team, hire for the good fit, who's going to fill the role and responsibilities, and who's going to be a good addition, who is a good add, who's bringing in new ideas. Hire for the good fit and the good add. When I was speaking at a conference in Uganda, Kampala, Uganda, for about 100 entrepreneurs. And I was sitting in the back of the stage, waiting for myself to be announced, and there was a speaker that came up before me, and every word out of his mouth was poetry. And the audience is just enwrapped in what he's saying. And spontaneous applause would break out, and people were getting really emotional listening to him speak. And I'm getting so intimidated because I felt like I couldn't follow that person up. And so I nudged one of the crew and I say, "Who is this guy?" And he said, "Oh, his name is Babaluku. He's Uganda's most famous hip-hop artist." So now I'm like, well, screw me. I can't possibly show up and do better than him. And I get up and I speak for a little while, and the audience was very polite. They clapped, and I left the stage. And I was beeline out of that auditorium. I was like, I'm not going to hang out. Like, I'm embarrassed. This is just humiliating for me. And an older man grabs me by the shoulder and he says, "Anthony, I want to thank you for being here today because you brought an international perspective to what we're trying to do here in Uganda. And we rarely get to hear that perspective." And so now I was sitting in the shoes of my team, bringing in these new perspectives to a discussion that's happening in Uganda. And I realized again the value of diversity.